All right, I'm back with this video. I was on YouTube today and I saw this pop up, this article pop up as a short. So I wanted to pull it up and investigate it for myself. If you want to go and read this article online for yourself, you can just go to, let me show you the website I'm at. I'm at Cargill.com. Okay, let's read the article. It says, Food chain reaction crisis simulation ends with global carbon tax. Climate, hunger, civil unrest, and spiking food prices came together at food chain reaction game in Washington, D.C. this week. Cooperation mostly won the day. So they had a game, a meeting of a food chain game in November 2015. It says on Monday and Tuesday, 65 international policymaker, academic, business, and through thought leaders gathered at the World Wildlife Fund headquarters in Washington, D.C. to game out how the world would respond to a future food crisis. The game took the players from the year 2022 to 2030 as it was projected. So Agenda 2030, the the decade throughout brought two major food crises with prices approaching 400% of the long-term average, a raft of climate-related extreme weather events, government toppling in Pakistan and Ukraine, and famine and refugee crisis in Bangladesh, Myanmar, Chad, and Sudan. So this was a game that they played in 2015. Now remember when we talked about deception, mixing truth and lie, hiding the truth in the lie and the lie in the truth. So this was supposed to be acted out in 2015 and it was set to impact us this year starting 2020 all the way to 2030. So let's see, it says, let's go to the highlighted part right here. It says, in the face of a steep price spike with looming global food shortages in 2022. Do you hear that? They planned this for 2022. It was a game, though. It wasn't real, so they say. It's just a game. But it says, in the face of a steep price spike with looming global food shortages in 2022, the EU at one point suspended its environmental rules for agriculture and introduced a tax on meat. Both measures were quickly revised in 2025 as harvests went back to normal and tensions eased in the hypothetical universe. All right. So then you see they was talking about what's going to result out of this at the end of all of this will be carbon tax. If you Google in carbon tax, it will pop up and it will tell you what carbon tax is. If they're saying people who put a lot of emissions into the air is going to have to pay for it. So that's called carbon tax. Just a quick Google search and you'll be able to pull that up. Now, remember they enacted that game in 2015 and it was said to impact us in 2022. Well, let's check the news and see, was it really a game? All right. And as you can see, this is the news articles for May 21st of 2022. Don't seem like a game to me. This is real life news. Apocalypse Now, the alarming effects of the global food crisis. The coming food catastrophe with skulls for wheat. This is May 19th, 2022. So there's really food shortage for 2022, just like they little game predicted. It says a food insecurity expert predicts that there's only 10 weeks of wheat supplies left in the world as Russia invasion disrupts production. And this was May 21st of 2022. So no wheat. Then we got no fertilizer. The world food supply is at risk due to a global fertilizer shortage. This was May 3rd of 2022. So, wow, this is crazy. And then you know about the popular nationwide baby formula shortage is getting worse. May 10th, 2022. So no fertilizer, no baby formula, no food. It's crazy. Now remember that game also said that Ukraine, what government will be toppled? Well, look at this. For February the 22nd, Russia invaded Ukraine. That was just this year. Then they said Pakistan government will be overturned as well. Well, here it goes. Taliban takeover of Afghanistan and Pakistan, security challenges. And this article was when May 6, 2022. These articles, you could just pull them up yourself, do a quick study, a quick search. Remember they said Bangladesh in their mock-up game will have famine and refugee crisis. Well, here you go. Bangladesh refugee crisis joint response plan for 2022. This article was just it was originally posted April the 6th, 2022, and it was posted on April the 15th of 2022. So it seems like everything in their mock-up game that they did way back in 2015 for this year has made headlines. Then we got this one. Now we talked about this one previously, but we're gonna go through this again because we're this study we're looking at how many times they said something was just a game and it wasn't real, yet it hit the headlines. So this one is number 2. Again, we're on the Johns Hopkins page, and this one is talking about the Dark Winter training top exercise. Training top exercise is where they plan this stuff out before it hits the mainstream. It says this training tabletop exercise is based on a fictional scenario. The input experts used for modeling the potential impact were fictional. It is a teaching and training resource for public health and government officials. The overview. The Dark Winter exercise held at the Andrews Air Force Base, here we go again, in Washington, D.C., that's where everything goes down in Washington, D.C. on June the 22nd to the 23rd of 2001, portrayed a fictional scenario depicting a covert smallpox attack on the U.S. citizens. So there we go. They did a fake game just last year, and then we're dealing with smallpox this year. But it's all fictional. It's not real. We're going to keep up with how many times they said that. So there you have it. All right. Now this is headlines. This is May 19, 2022. Britain offers smallpox shot as monkeypox cases spreads in Europe. And there at the bottom it says monkeypox cases in Britain has prompted authorities to offer smallpox vaccine to some healthcare workers and others who may have been exposed to a handful. More cases were confirmed in parts of Europe. It says monkeypox is usually a mild viral illness characterized by symptoms of fever. All right, let's keep going. This one says smallpox vaccines can protect against monkeypox, and U.S. has 100 million doses. Well, look at you that. They just so happen to have 100 million doses. All right. So let's go to the highlighted part of this article. By the way, this article came out May 23rd of 2022. So I'm trying to keep up with everything that's current. It says, we have vaccines squirreled away by our government. So you know what they mean when they say squirreled away? You know how a squirrel packs his jaw full of nuts and he takes them and burrows them in his little cubby hole until he just stockpiles them up? That's what they're saying. They have stockpiled this stuff up ahead of time. Like well before the time. To have 100 million of them just sitting on deck, they've been piling this for a minute now. It says, we have vaccines squirreled away by our government, said whoever the man was. And it says has been FDA approved for use against smallpox. So there it is if you want to go back and read the article. But the FDA approves one of these. They have several of them, but one of them, the FDA have already approved it, according to that article. All right, so here we go with another fiction game. It says it's fiction, but America just got wiped out by a man-made terror germ. So they not even trying to hide it. I guess after they got busted with the whole gain of function, they was like, you know what? We just gonna straight up tell y'all it's bioterror. I mean, we just gonna straight up tell you it's man-made. What are you gonna do about it? We just gonna tell you, but it's just fiction. It's not real. So I wanted to bring your attention to when they had this meeting. This was on May the 15th, 2018. All right. May the 15th, 2018. It says in June 2001, a group of government officials and journalists play acted their way through a germ game. So here we go. We're on a third game now, y'all. First it was food, and then it was terror. Okay, so now we got bioterror. It's just a game though, it's not real. They play acted their way through a germ game, a fictional scenario in which then obscure terrorist group called Al Qaeda sets off an outbreak of smallpox using shopping malls. The exercise called Dark Winter provided influential in shaping U.S. pandemic preparedness. So there you go. Dark Winter is all about a smallpox biohazard attack against the American people. So they said it was just a joke. But strangely enough, it made headlines. Then we come over here to the NTI, the Bio Munich Security Conference convened global leaders for annual tabletop exercise on reducing high consequence biological threats. All right, so when does this article come out? Do I have the date for this one as well? Yes, I do. March the 18th of 2021. So I'm going to try to put this where you can pause the screen and read it. I'm going to try to lift it up a little bit and maybe you can pause the screen and read it. But I'm just going to skip right down to the parts that I had highlighted. I wanted you to pay attention that they said this is the third annual tabletop exercise. So they do these things yearly, people. They are having these training, these mock-up fake exercises yearly. It's annually. And this was the third one. So let's go down to where it's yellow at. And it says, this was illustrated in the exercise scenario. A localized bioweapon attack with a genetically engineered monkeypox virus begins in the fictional country of Brenna. Over 18 months, the scenario evolves into a globally catastrophic pandemic, leaving 40% of the world's population infected and over 250 million people dead. Okay, so this was supposed to be all make-believe, remember? Not real. This was not supposed to be not real. It's just all make-believe. But yet we're dealing with monkeypox right now. All right, let's go on to the next page. I let it so you can read it. So now these are the new headlines for monkeypox. Monkeypox, everybody talking about monkeypox. It's all over the place. And so these games that they're saying is just supposed to be fictional, all of them made the news. Every last one of them have made headlines so far. Monkeypox in Australia. What is it and how can we prevent this spread? May 20, 2022. I'm just reading it. I'm just leaving it so you can read it. Let's go to the next one. This is a good one. Now, you might want to take your time and pull this article up. They had a lot of information, like almost everything on it. Monkeypox simulation results. Fictional nation terror group and massive outbreak. It says, in March 2021, at the Munich Security Conference, a simulation was run on reducing high consequences biological threat. The exercise sought to examine gaps in national and international biosecurity and pandemic preparedness. Okay, let's go down here. It says let's go right here, the second one. The exercise scenario portrayed a global pandemic involving an unusual strand of monkeypox virus that emerged in the fictional nation of Brenna and spread globally over 18 months. The exercise scenario was on the initial outbreak, which was caused by a terrorist attack using a pathogen engineered in a laboratory with inadequate biosafety and biosecurity provisions and weak oversight. By the end of the exercise, the fictional pandemic resulted in more than 3 billion cases and 270 million fatalities worldwide. So Stranger went from fiction to actual reality. So what we better do is pay attention to what they're claiming is fiction. How many they saying is going to be affected? And they said 270 million. Now it said resulted in more than 3 billion cases and 270 million fatalities. That's how many people they're expecting to die from this. That's bizarre. All right, so it goes on and it says engineered in a laboratory okay, we read that part. It says by the end of the exercise, the fictional pandemic resulted in more than 3 billion cases, 270 million fatalities worldwide. In May 2022, the scenario looks all too real and scary. Bizarrely, the scenario looked at the period between May 15, 2022 to June 2022. So this one, the fake story said that the monkeypox was going to break out May the 15th of 2022 all the way up to June 22. And that's strangely enough when it hit for us in reality. It says, as the first scenario with the monkeypox outbreak in Britain, with 1,421 cases and 4 deaths with no international warnings or advisories. The Brennan government welcomes international outbreak investigations and requests medical support from the WHO, World Health Organization. Genome sequencing of monkeypox patient samples reveals that the strand in Brennan contains mutations. So this thing is going to mutate that make it resistant to existing vaccines. So while they're saying they have vaccines, they're telling you in this fictional one is going to mutate and be vaccine resistant. It says it highlighted key issues of international alert and warning systems and to look at benefits of the need for early risk assessment. It says then in January the 10th, 2023, with 83 countries affected with 70 million cases and 1.3 million deaths. That's crazy. So by 2023, this is what they are projecting. 70 million cases of monkeypox with 1.3 million deaths. The scenario revealed monkeypox to be vaccine resistant with international supply chain challenges. Does it sound familiar? Then we go up here to the next page and it says scenario group origin. In May 10, 2023, the simulation showed 480 million cases. So they saying by the year 2023 in May, it will be 480 million cases and 27 million deaths. Now, remember we just talked about the Georgia Guidestone and how they was trying to bring that to pass, that depopulation, the very first one on there? There you have it. It said there is revelation of terror group origin, including infiltration of civilian biolab. On December the 1st of 2023, the scenario moved to 3.2 billion cases and 271 million deaths. The simulation said global difference in national response contributes to significantly variable outcomes. There was international financing for pandemic preparedness with measures to strengthen national pandemic preparedness capacity. So they just expecting this thing to just run through and just kill. But you know, they didn't factor in God. Nothing get past God. He is the resurrection and he is the life. He has all to say. They're not really running nothing. It's what God say. You know, you can plan all of this stuff and you can be trying to kill. But what does God say? He's only going to let y'all do so much. I'm not saying none of this is going to come to pass because we living in it, but I'm just saying it's very arrogant of them to not factor in God, because the earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof, and all them that dwell therein. Anyway, so it says the Brinian intelligence reveals that the engineered monkeypox, as you can see, is engineered virus, was developed illicitly at a fictional country. And it says of Arsenio, leading institute for virology, the simulation said. Man, these people just, this just kind of, it just gets you so frustrated. All right, so far we see all of their games that they have played, all they mock-up fictional things have made headlines. That's not us making that up. That's not a conspiracy theory. We just read the headlines. All right, so now we come to their other little mock-up. This is all fictional. It's not a real, for zombies, because they've prepared for this as well. So it says, this article says, this came out in October the 22nd of 2019. It was originally did October the 31st of 2017, but they updated it. It says, are you prepared for a zombie apocalypse? Because the U.S. government is. This is crazy. This is literally crazy. The Department of Defense versus the Walking Dead. So it says the United States may have one of the largest armies on Earth, but even the pathogen has taken no chances at being caught off guard by an unusual foe. In fact, in 2011, the U.S. Department of Defense released a strategy to combat potential zombie apocalypse. While the potential opponents might be fictional, the military took it seriously. See, so they saying, we telling y'all it's fictional, but we taking it serious. It said the military took it seriously. And in fact, the first line of the counter-zombie dominance plan, or that's what you got it, the CON Plan 888-11, which you can actually pull that up. I did that and I'll show it to you at the end of the video. This plan was not actually designed as a joke. There you have it. In one breath, they telling you it's fake, but the next minute they telling you they drew up a plan that was not a joke. Like they're dead serious. All right. It says the origins of the plan can be traced to training exercises held in 2009 and 2010, during which young officers participated in the Joint Operational Planning and Execution System, realized the potential upsides to planning for a hypothetical zombie attack, with roving zombies as the target in these fake scenarios. And I'm just pausing it right here in case you want to read it. So we're just saying, according to their track record, what is fictional strangely has a habit of becoming real. They're literally straight up playing Hunger Games with our lives. They're just taking it as a joke, taking away the food like it's a game. And I feel like this is them behind the scenes. They're laughing as they're going to go down in their underground bunkers while we are struggling for food and fending for our life. And they're going to be watching this thing like, may the odds be ever in your favor. But what they didn't factor in is in the Hunger Games, those people had a sponsor, a person behind the scenes that was sponsoring them. Well, we got a person behind the scenes sponsoring us, and his name is Jesus. And in the Hunger Games, the people was behind the scenes. They was orchestrating everything. The whole environment was fake. The wall was fake. The monsters that they was attacking them with, they was putting them into the game system. These are the people behind the scenes, pulling strings, playing with our lives, and they think it's a joke. Look at this guy. This is David Rockefeller. He said, we are on the verge of a global transformation. All we need is the right major crisis, and the nations will accept the new world order. David Rockefeller speaking at the UN Business Conference September the 14th, 1994. They've been planning this for a long time, as Denzel Washington said in the movie Training Day. I've been planning this for a long time. He said, Some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists and a conspiracy with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty and I'm proud of it. David Rockefeller. He says, so y'all charging me, we're talking about, we're trying to bring about the New World Order. He said, if that's what y'all charging me with, I'm proud of it. I'm guilty and I'm proud of it. He says, then he goes on to say, John D. Rockefeller goes on to say, I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. And that's just crazy. These people are crazy. They really think they are calling the shots. They really think they're calling the shots. So I saw this and I thought this was interesting. It said, is the New World Order a theory? Ask these guys. And then it goes on to quote them. So we just read the first guy's quote. And so now we go down to George Herbert Walker Bush. The war in Iraq is a rare opportunity to move towards an historic period of cooperation. Out of these troubled times, a new world order can emerge. Order out of chaos. Last guy. We are not going to achieve a new world order without paying for it in blood as well as in words and money. Arthur, whatever his last name is. Foreign Affairs guy, he said that in July through August of 1995. All right, Adolf Hitler. National Socialism will use its own revolution for the establishing of a new world order. This goes way back. This is not nothing new. This whole Pinky and the Brains world takeover thing, they've been working on this for eons. They're not gonna let up now. It says, this next guy says, whatever happens, whatever the outcome, a new order is going to come into the world. It will be Butterseed. Is that what it said? With police power. When peace comes, this time there is going to be a new order of social justice. So when they cross peace and safety, behold sudden destruction. This last guy. We shall have world government, whether or not you like it, by conquest or consent, whether we take it by force or you volunteer to get along with the program. Statement by Council on Foreign Relations, member James Warburg to the Senate Foreign Relations Committee on February the 17th, y'all, of 1950. Like the Bible says, there's no new thing under the sun. They've been at this for a minute. Fast forward to 2022. Biden says U.S. must lead new world order. What America needs if he is serious. They really want to do this thing. And look at this. The new world order. The end has come. That's the mark of the beast. This is actually a movie, y'all. It said the Freemasons motto, order out of chaos. Government is creating the chaos so it can impose its definition of Orwellian order with public approval. With the all-seeing eye right there, and order out of chaos. I wanted to bring you back to this article before I end this video because I actually pulled up this number. Conplan 888-11. You could actually type that into your browser search to the web page, and it's going to pull up this page right here. This is the Conplan 888. And I thought that this was interesting. I wanted to just read a little bit. I don't want to read all of it, but I want to read some of the things that I thought was interesting. It said this fictitious plan was created by the junior military. The blah, blah, blah. They said it's so fake. We came up with this so nobody couldn't possibly think that it was real. But yet you come over here to this disclaimer and it said this plan was not actually designed as a joke. All right. I blowed it up so you can read it. This plan was not actually designed as a joke, but yet they saying it's fake and it's not real. And I just, if you wanted to read up on this document, something that I thought was really important that I wanted to focus on, it says the offensive operations. They're going to do the defensive, which is to protect the people when these zombies come out, blah, blah, blah. They're going to try to protect you and I. But the offensive, that's the one I thought was pretty interesting. It says offensive operations. Those operations were the, whatever that is, has been directed to eradicate zombie threats to human safety using military capabilities as authorized by the Presidents of the United States and the Secretary of Defense. This plan's offensive branch within the Annex C and Annex S details the neutralization to render ineffective of zombie capabilities. How they're going to render it ineffective, y'all. Are you listening? Look at this. It says through denial, deception, disruption, degradation, or destruction. They planning on denying it. They planning on denying it. They planning on using deception. They planning on using disruption. Whatever they have to do, they're not going to take responsibility for it. I thought that was interesting. Now this list in the same, I'm still on the same thing. I'm on a con plan. This goes on to list what kind of zombies. Now I just thought it was going to be a zombie. This thing actually breaks it down. So the first zombie this is the zombie threat summary. And it says the first one that they have on the list is a pathogenic zombie, which is a PZ. Pathogenic zombies are life forms created after an organism is infected by a virus or a bacteria or some other form of contagion. Then you got the radiation zombie. Radiation zombies are life forms created after an organism is infected by an extreme dosage of electromagnetic and or particle radiation. You got the evil magic zombies. Evil magic zombies are zombie life forms created via some form of occult experimentation and what might otherwise be referred to as evil magic or voodoo. You got space zombies. Space zombies are zombie life forms originated from space or created by toxic contamination of the Earth environment via some form of extraterrestrial toxic radiation. That just sounds crazy. And you got zombie satellites. Then this one I found interesting. Weaponized zombies. Weaponized zombies are zombie life forms deliberately created via biomechanical engineering. They can make them by bioengineering for the purpose of being employed as weapons. They made to kill. Zombie weaponization programs and supporting infrastructures are included in COAs to deal with these threats. The movie The Crazies. So now we got to go back and watch The Crazies because I guess they was telling us what's to come. The movie The Crazies exemplifies the most common type of weaponized zombie. Humans turned into zombies via exposure to toxic chemical gases. And then you got the Sybiont-induced zombies. I don't think I got that part, but you can pull the plan up for yourself just by simply typing in Conplan 888-11. And that's all I got for y'all. I just wanted to show y'all that this stuff is not a joke. They say it's a joke. They say it's a game, but then it makes the headlines at the exact same time that they said it would, in the exact same way that the scenario would. And you remember in this thing they said that the Al-Qaeda was going to leak this gas into the train stations or the mall or whatever. Well, remember, I think that was last year or the beginning of this year. In New York, they said that the government was putting non-hazardous gas into the subways to test the airflow in case there was a bio attack. So I'm telling you, they're doing this stuff in plain sight. They put that stuff in the train system in New York. And they said it was non-toxic. The same way they did with the Boston Marathon bombs. They said, you're going to hear bombs go off, but don't worry about none of that. It's just a drill. We're just drilling, and it's not real. Just carry on with the marathon. But what happened in the marathon? We know people started getting blown up as they came to the finish line. So I just don't trust them no further than I could throw them. And I just wanted to show y'all this is proof to me that what they say is joke. It's not joke. It's actually headlines. God bless you. I hope this helped you in some kind of way. In Jesus' name, amen.